Hey, what's up, guys? Scavenger Reviews here. I'm hiding under my bed right now because we are doing a review on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So, just getting started. I actually really liked this one. I recently got into the Texas Chainsaw series. I would watch, I kind of watched these actually pretty much in order. I was a good boy with these. The Halloween series, I watched them all out of order. And the Friday the 13th series, I watched in order. And this one, I also watched in order. So it really was just Halloween I skipped around on. But we are doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And I will catch you guys after that because I actually really like this one. Yeah. And, yep, see you on the flip.
Ayo, specifically, where did I even put it? This Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is the one we are specifically watching. And, I just really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. I didn't have this last time, but check this out. So, unfortunately, it's the first movie's mask, and we're making a review on the second movie, and I don't have the second movie mask, so But, that's how about I put it on. Hey, what do you know? Look at that, yeah. It's really cool. It actually ties in. I have it kind of loose. But it actually, like, straight up ties to your face. Like, how cool is that? Like, actual shoelace style, not stitching, but, like, whatever it be. Yeah, knitting, stitching? I don't know. But, let me make sure I do my hair just quite right. I'm Leatherface, yo! And check this out. That's probably, like, incredibly loud. But, I love Leatherface, man. I mean, what's not to love? A big, burly, dangerous man, who be still my big heart. And he's also progressive, he also does other things. Look at the Pretty Woman mask, I mean, he does it all, he does it all. Alright, so, fun fact, right? Not really fun fact, more like a story time. So Halloween night, I went as Leatherface. You can find my photos on Scavenger Reviews. And yeah, I went as Leatherface. It was a lot of fun. And, so funny story though that happened that night is I went to the bar, right? And I live super close to the bar, I'm pretty lucky like that. So I walked. Cool, right. Well, when I left the bar, I decided that, hey, I'm kinda hungry. So I also walked down to the gas station, because I don't live that far from the gas station either. Mind you, this was after... I got a little flat around my nose. Anyways, mind you, this was after, 5 consecutive hours of partying and drinking. It was awesome. I was singing, like, karaoke all night, and meeting people and hanging out, and there was this really hot girl there dressed as Freddy Krueger, so we were kind of like, Anywho, I don't really dig this song. You guys really like that? I didn't like that. Okay, there's no way that's royalty free. There's no way. I put on specifically royalty free. There's no way Cradles by, whatever, I can't read that, my glasses off. Suburban is royalty free. Give me a second. Screw it, we're going royalty free jazz. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. You can probably hear it. But anyways, where's it going? Oh, so, me, after 5 consecutive hours, because I stayed from 9 p.m. to 2 in the morning-ish, it was probably more like 2, 3, whale, I walked all the way to the bar, which is not super far. But, mind you, I'm drunk, and I'm in shoes that don't fit because I got myself some, they're not cowboy boots, but they're kind of like cowboy boots. I don't know what you'd call them, but they don't quite fit on me. But it was like, screw it, I'm gonna be wearing them one night. I'll just buy it anyways. I got it from Goodwill. Well, I walk all the way to the bar, put my key down, forget I put my key down, walk all the way home, and then go to unlock my door, and I'm like, hey, where's my key? So I have to walk all the way back to the bar. I mean, no, the gas station, and then all the way back home. So, like, it was just like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I don't like this either. But enough about that. See, one of the reasons I like, I kind of uh, got into it a second ago, but I really like Texas Chainsaw because it's so expressive. Because you know what I've got? A bag of hair here. Not real, don't worry, don't worry. But you can just be as expressive as you want, and it doesn't even have to look good. That's the point, It doesn't even have to look good. It's not about looking good. It's about looking like yourself. It's about feeling yourself. I relate to certain characters because they come across, I mean, it doesn't really do it in the second movie. I will get to that eventually. I know everybody's like, the one uh Alice in Wonderland meme. I'll get to it eventually. But you can look as bad as you want. People say you gotta look your best. I have said for years, hey, I've gotta look my worst. This is terrible. It's all messed up, and I don't feel like fixing it all the way. I just wanted it good enough to show my face. But yeah, I really dig Leatherface. Look like the Cowardly Lion. Oh, you see, Dorothy. I don't even know if he talks like that. I just know he talks like that in the parodies. Oh, and this is the hair that I wore in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre video. The first movie that one, anyways. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, but no, there's something about feeling myself because I don't always feel myself. In fact, frankly, I hardly ever feel myself. Well, then again, but no, I really struggle with identity. Not even just like identity, but just identity is like, who am I? Who is Tyler? Who do I want to be? Am I a man or am I a Muppet? It's really difficult, you guys. It's always kind of hard. If I'm being honest, though, Time for the next one. How do you feel about this one? This one's a little bit more out there. All the others were kind of pretty natural tone. I mean, the red was like pretty red, but you could technically still call that a natural tone. How do we feel about this one? I don't know, man. But, it's one of those things where I don't know who I am, I mean, I don't know who I want to be. And also, look at that. That's all the hair that's collected from these various wigs I'm putting on. I'm going to irresponsibly put that on the floor. I'll vacuum it up later. Anywho, and it's going to get caught in my vacuum. Anywho, who do I want to be, One of the problems is that I want everything. I want to be this, I want to be that. I want to be 20 different things, and that's only a slight exaggeration. I'll say 10. I legitimately think I would want to be 10 different things, half of which I can't say online, At least not on this app. And it's just difficult, man. It's just difficult. It's like, a lot of the things I want to be directly contradict each other. Like, I do want the American dream, even though the American dream's dead. But I do want the American dream of, a wife and kids and, a house and, a wife that bakes pies in the kitchen windowsill and while I'm mowing the lawn, and suddenly Seymour is standing behind you. Suddenly Seymour. Yeah. But I also am like, a tricycle thrown in the air, a bundle of sticks, and the English word for a cigarette. I just am, you know? And, like, those obviously contradict, you know? I mean, you can't have it all, Tyler. But what sucks is you kind of only have to have one thing, you know? I mean, it's obviously not, like, super much, like, look at my little kitty. You know, once you're locked in, you're locked in. But, like, kind of once you're locked in, you're locked in. I can't just get a wife and then decide, you know what? I'm just not feeling it. I mean, I know some people do, believe me, but I am not that kind of person. So what kind of person am I? This one I actually really like. It's also the only one that's like an actual real wig. The other ones, they're nice, don't get me wrong, especially that curly one. I really like the curly one. But those were all Halloween wigs, whereas this is like a wig. You know, this is real. You know, look at this. It looks like a surfer guy. You know. I got hair like all over my face, bro. Oh my gosh. And you know the thing is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was actually a very recent addition to my life, I guess. You know, I only watched the movies like a couple years ago, but it left an impact. You know, just something about like you know a guy who really struggles with identity and you know expressing himself, and he's you know he's got a kind of a bad life. You know, not kind of, he does. You know, I've got a good life. You know, frankly. Um, by the way, you'll never see this because you don't watch my videos, and frankly, none of my friends I send this to watch my videos. But you know, so fuck you guys. But no, seriously, I've been really mean lately, and I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize for that. It's I'm just letting myself become worse and worse, and I need to stop that. I know that's like the lamest apology ever, but I don't know. So, like, anyways, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 opens up with a radio show, and they're playing this supposed last final moments, and it's like a really big deal. Well, it doesn't play the final moments. It opens up on a bridge, and there's these guys that are calling in, and they're messing with the radio show host, and then Bubba, you know, or Thomas, but like Bubba, and you know the hitchhiker are there, and they kill him. And then the final moments are recorded on the radio station, and it's like both police evidence and also like the most exciting thing that's ever been on the radio, you know, because it's like, oh wow, this is real, and it captures the real, you know, life essence, and yada yada yada. And that leads to Dennis Hopper's character coming into that part of town, and he's been tracking down, you know, ever since he heard about the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, he's been tracking down the family. It's just he can't find them because they're, you know, really good at keeping a secret, except really not good at keeping a secret. You know, I mean, it's pretty freaking blatant. But whatever, we're gonna ignore that and just say that, you know, hey, they've been getting away with it and probably like switching addresses until they found their new home in the amusement park, kind of. I don't really know what to call it. I mean, I think it's an amusement park. We're going red. And see, I really like Dennis Hopper. So I don't know him from a lot of stuff because, spoiler alert, I'm not old. You know, I'm sure I offended all of my, you know, older fans. All, you know, whatever of them. But I don't know Dennis Hopper from, well, anything, to be honest. At least not off the top of my head. But I did really like him in this movie, and my mom, she liked him too. I actually watched all of these with my mom, because like I said, I have a pretty good home life. You know, my mom's super cool. I was just over at her house today, and we watched a couple Godzilla movies. And yeah, I like my mom, and I like my dad too. I won the lottery. I actually got both like good parents. You know, I mean, I do have like my biological father who's not so good, but you know, besides that, I actually pretty much lucked out. See, the thing is most people have like bad parents, or they only like one. But me, I like two because I'm lucky. Because like you know, whatever, it's whatever. Anywho, going on, you got he tracks down and you know he kind of loses his mind over the course of the movie. Man, it's super weird, but like good weird. You know, it's like holy shit, this guy is fucking going because he's kind of hyper obsessed and ends up using the radio show host as like bait because he knows that them playing that like last final recording of that you know victim and stuff like that is going to draw out excuse you the Sawyer family or Slaughter family. I don't remember if like the Slaughter name came from the third movie and it was like or if it was the first one. But anywho, he knows that it'll draw them out because you know that's like hey we can't just have that audio going around you know so he straight up uses her as bait. Like, what the hell, man? It's not cool, not cool, bro. That was supposed to be Chris McLean from Total Drama. I hope that came across. Alright, campers. Today we're going to cut the face off of a person and wear it their skin as an adornment. Whoa, Leatherface. You made him into a chair instead. Not cool, bro. But yeah. But no, I really like this one. And then it goes from there to like there's like a chili scene, which is kind of dark humor, and also my biggest fucking fear. So that is the scariest thing in this whole franchise, is the fact that in the second movie, it's established that he feeds the victims to the town. Like that is the scariest thing in this entire franchise. That is fucking terrifying. Just unknowingly like anything to do with like the tampering of food. Food is sacred. Do not touch food. Do not mess with food. I, as a kid, I had this movie, and on the movie, it wasn't even the movie itself. It was the trailers. In the trailers for the movie was the trailer for Waiting, starring Ryan Reynolds, Justin Long, and a whole bunch of other people. I don't know. And it was about these waiters and waitresses that had gotten fed up, and you know they have all these rude customers, so they decided to start messing with their meals in increasingly gross ways. I never even saw that movie, not once. I never saw it. I just saw the trailer, and that got me shooketh. I saw that trailer when I was like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in the, probably 8 or 9. But and it shook me to my core. I was like, basically it was that scene from Arthur where it's like, people do that? You're telling me that people would go on the internet and lie? I'm like, you're telling me that people would like put gross things in food? Oh my god, bro. And that shit happens. That is real life. That is real fucking life. You know? Now, the cook putting actual straight up humans, probably not much real life. But the Waiting movie, that's real life, bro. That happens, bro. And that terrifies me. So, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you gotta do your worst, you know? It's bad, but it'll, you know, kind of dry right, and I don't care. And I like the imperfection. I like not having to be perfect. You know? There we go. And then there's the scene where Dennis Hopper actually buys himself a chainsaw, because at this point in the film, he's pretty much fucking lost it, you know? And he buys himself a chainsaw to fight Leatherface, you know, just straight up. And there's a scene where he's like testing them all out, and there's like this wood outside that he's like cutting up with all the different chainsaws, and it's super fucking funny. Is this lipstick? I can't remember. But super stay ink. Yeah, lipstick. I knew it was. Don't tell me I didn't know. But anyways, it's just really funny, and he's like trying them all out, and he's like going fucking nuts, and the guy's just standing there watching him like, damn, because it's like the guy clearly knows what he's doing, but he's also losing it. But he's also like the sheriff, so well, he's a deputy. He's not the sheriff, but no, he is a deputy. He's like an out of town person, okay? Whatever those are called. I don't know, fucking cop. What do you expect me to be, some copologist? Anyways, though, he's like hacking away, and it's super funny. Also, why is Leatherface horny? That's one of those things where it's like, I don't really need to see it, If you want to do it, cool. If you want to fantasize, I do too. But fantasizing and getting it are different things, you know. See what I mean? It's bad. But in being bad, it actually wraps around to being good. See, all the a-holes in the comments are gonna be like, yeah, keep telling yourself that, bro. There we go. I think I got my teeth as well. No, my teeth are fine. Ooh, you know what I got? Hold on. Got this stuff, right? It's called like chameleon. Chameleon chrome lip foil for the Lever de Levi's. Anyways, it's supposed to be like a top coat type thing on your lips though. So we're gonna see IRL, what it does. I'm actually kind of excited, and trying to take it off without smudging my nail polish too bad. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Do you twist it? Yeah, you twist it. Okay. We're gonna see what it does. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Leatherface is horny. He's like humping with his chainsaw and stuff, and like he puts the chainsaw between the girl's legs, and it's like, ooh, what is that? Motherfucker! Oh fuck! Ah fuck! Well, here it is. All right. So let's do it. Alright. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Ooh. Hold on. No, not really. Not digging it. Maybe I did too much. I think that's the problem. I think I did it like way too thick. Cause yeah, now it's just a completely different color. I think if I did a little bit less, cause I liked it at first. You had that ooh. Let's test it on the cat. Now I'm playing. Anyways. And then there's the big fight scene at the end, which I actually really like the fight scene at the end. It's like, that is where you reach like the peak of the movie where you're like, what the hell is going on? It's either the jump the shark or fuck the shark moment, Just depends on the type of person you are. Whether you want to do one or the other. And, for me, it was a fuck the shark moment. Okay. Because they got some sexy ass sharks in that ocean, brother. And I quite like that shark. And then you get to the point where like the final girl like runs and like finds like grandma, and she's like fucking this like deceased lady who's like entombed. That isn't the right word, but like, you know, very much been dead forever. And I like that. Do a little bit more. See, your makeup actually looks 10 times better when you take your glasses off. To you, anyways. Probably doesn't look great to you guys, but to me, I think I'm doing okay. I mean, it's a little sloppy. You know, even out this side. There you go. You know, I'm going for like, you know, Rob Zombie, I guess. At this point, yeah. What else can we do? What else can we... I got eyeshadow. You know, at some point I'll watch this movie. I don't know. Yeah, I will, actually. I like it. I like it. I probably have some people click off with us like, fuck this shit. He's not even gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. What'd be really funny is if I just immediately took all this off to watch the movie, and then when I like come back to you guys after the fact, I'm just like completely like normaled up, and it's just like, well, what the fuck was the point of that? There you go. I'm gonna do a little bit under my eyes. Try to get rid of my eye bags, you know. How's that looking? Probably terrible. Where are my glasses? Right here. Yeah, that looks bad. But I don't care. I think that's enough of that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm really not digging these lips. Gonna black it up. Let's black it up. Alright. See, I love this stuff because it tastes like coffee. Okay. There you go. See, now that's good. That's good. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this, which is a pencil. Not like a regular pencil, but... I like that. I like that. And then there we go. I think I am Texas Chainsawed up. And let's watch some Texas Chainsaw, you guys. By the way, real quick. Y'all see I just kissed my lips. I mean, kissed my hand, right? Okay, well, it's messy right now because I put a whole bunch of stuff on it. But just take my word, okay? This stuff is the bomb. It dries very fast when you don't have, like, a whole bunch of other stuff in there as well. It dries very fast, and you'll be able to, you know, kiss and smooch and, you know, eat. I can eat food with this. I can drink drinks with this, and it doesn't come off except for, like, after, like, 8 hours. This stuff works. It's fucking awesome. You know? There we go. But yeah. Anyways, it's called NYX, NYX. Okay? That's NYX Lingerie XXL. This one specifically, it fucking works. Totally endorse. Please sponsor me. You know? Not hashtag not sponsored, but very much want to be. I am very poor and broke. And let's do it! would she really not be able to hang up on them? Like, does she need them to hang up? Wouldn't she be able to hang up on them? Like, I feel like you just, like, disconnect the line or something, I guess. I don't know. Just knowing that Tom Savini worked on this, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Tom Savini's the GOAT, bro. Like, seriously. That's the guy who did, like, the Jason makeup and some other stuff. But, like, yeah. That's awesome. I love that. I'm gonna sound like such a fucking weirdo right here. But I love whenever they have the accurate, like whenever people die and they shake. You know, dude got his head cut, and he's like, like freaking out because all of his nerves are firing at once and all of that. And I like the accuracy. It's cool. Another scene from American Dad where he's shooting the gun, and he's like, "Is it weird that I have a boner? It'd be weird if you did it." That's that scene. Guy goes, Dennis Hopper. I have no idea what his name is in the movie. Anyways, goes to the chainsaw shop and he's like, doing all this shit, and like, he was hard as fuck doing that, bro. Cause I know I would be. I'm just saying. It'd be weird if you weren't. It'd be weird if you weren't. Speaking of which, them shorts right there. Ooh, mama. Ooh, mama. Them some Texas shorts right there, for sure. I always forget how solid of a fucking jump scare that is. It's a scene where, if you've seen it, Chop Top is, like, harassing the girl, and he's like, "Oh, what's in there?" And she's like, "Oh, the record room," and "Oh, you mean the golden oldies?" And he turns the light. And it's the fact that he's the one that turned the light on. Like, he doesn't convince her to turn the light on for some reason, or she doesn't turn the light on, because that'd be like a really predictable jump scare. It's like, oh no, what's gonna happen? It's he's livid. But anyways, it's the fact that he turned the light on. And that's a solid ass jump scare, man. I love it. I wasn't like, ah, but I was like, cool, it got me. I was like, damn, and it's so gross. I hate that he picks at the oh my god. I hate that Chop Chop picks at the. He's still doing it. Jeez. Ugh. And anyways, all I'm saying is it's a good scene. I like it. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. This is all a guy wants, Just a girl to to take interest in his hobbies. For the reference, this is the scene I'm talking about. Is that so much to ask? Just take place. Why do I keep saying take place? Like, 'cause the movie takes place, but anyways, just take interest in our hobbies. You know, all he wants to do is to show her, his passion, his hobby, his art and craft, and she doesn't want to do it. Like, how ungrateful. Oh my god. See, I'm joking, right? But my mom was watching this, and a shocking amount of these was like, I'd go along with it, just long enough to get away. You gotta, and I get it. It's that survival mentality. Do whatever it takes. Just pretend to go along with it and be like, yeah, this is cool. I like this. So he doesn't kill you to get away, which I get. Oh god, that's horrifying. I'm sorry. It's just a. Oh, Jesus. These movies are a lot sometimes. Anyways. I'm sorry. They're just a lot sometimes. This is a lot that I'm seeing. Let me just give a shout out to my man Tom Savini. That effect was so much that I had to like convince me, like I had to remember, like, oh yeah, that's just an effect, you know. I mean, obviously I know it's fake. I'm saying like I had to like separate it, you know. I had to like get out of the scene, you know, as it were. Whew. It's just a lot, man. I mean, for him to stand up and like, you got to think, like, first of all, I don't think maybe he would be alive from that. I don't know if he'd still be alive, like in real life, quote unquote. But you got to think, if you were alive and you were able to like witness and assess what was going on, just wow, man. All right, but on a serious note, I do really like the element of Leatherface not wanting to kill someone. You know, I mean, it might not be for the purest of reasons, but he is a human being, you know, and he doesn't want to kill Sketch, you know. He likes her. He thinks she's cute, and you know, probably wants to, let's just say, be your husband. But again, it shows there's a human being under all that, and he's actually actively trying to protect her. You know, like she, you know, didn't get caught, but like kind of made a noise. And he was like looking at her. He was like, go away! You're gonna get caught!" You know, like, and he's looking out for her, and just, I like it. I like it. Little off topic, but still Texas Chainsaw. Yep. Anybody else try that Texas Chainsaw game? I thought it was pretty mid, but something that would have been really cool is if they had like another map, and it was this Battleland. You know, I think that'd be a really cool idea. I mean, from what I hear, the game's kind of dead. I don't play it anymore either, but you know, I'm just saying, could have been cool. Could have been cool. Oh shit! Chainsaw fight. Let's go. You know, this might be a hot take, but both in the first movie and this movie, the dinner scene is just long. I mean, it's like 15 minutes. It's not 15 minutes, I'm joking. But it's like 5 whole minutes of just ah. It gets a bit much. What the fuck? Chop Top doing some Batman shit, man. But yeah. See, Leatherface had an opportunity. He could have saved her, and he didn't. You know, he got his smooch on and took her over there anyways. Just saying, he had his chance. That was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Well, I mean, what more can you say? What more can you say? Nah. What the fuck? You know, I don't know. I like the movie, obviously. You know, I need to get a better copy of it. So what's weird is the copy I have, it's full screen, even though it says it has widescreen and full screen. But I put it in, and it was 4:3 aspect. So I flipped the disc around because it's one of those like clear ones that don't have art on the either side, which is lame. But I flipped it around, and it was still 4:3 aspect. But you know, you get used to it within like a couple minutes, and then you don't even realize it's 4:3 aspect. I watch a lot of movies on 4:3. Check it out. It did come with this, however, one of these like right here. Tells you like the different scenes and scene selection. Oh, it also even tells you the cast, so that's kind of cool. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, alright. Well, anywho, I like it. Yeah, it says it has widescreen, but I offered in widescreen format, enabling you to experience the picture quality as it was originally shown in theaters, depending on how the film was shot. The widescreen presents 50% more, yada 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 yada. I don't know, but yeah, I really like it. And that being the scene on the cover, on the whatever you would call this, the chainsaw fight. That was a hell of a chainsaw fight too. I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely really liked it, and I still consider this part of like the because I know like holy cow, Texas Chainsaw has like some of the most ridiculously convoluted, not even convoluted, because convoluted would imply that like there is some logic to it, but it has no canon. You know, none of these movies have like hardly any canon to each other except for this takes place after the first one. That's established. You know, I don't know, but then you get the third movie, and the third one right out the door was already confusing, and it's like, is this canon or not? Because in my opinion, in my head canon, the cook died. You know, Drayton Sawyer, he died. He dead as hell. What shoes he got on? Grandpa, dead as hell. Chop Top, dead. And the thing is the hitchhiker also died in the first movie because he got ran over by the truck. That's right. Now, I don't think that Leatherface dies in this. You know, I think that Leatherface, you know, Bubba, um, I think even though he literally had like a chainsaw destroying his gut, movie logic, whatever, you know, I think he survives that somehow. And that he goes on to, you know, basically kind of, you know, walk the earth and stuff like that. And he eventually runs into the family from the third Texas Chainsaw Massacre and they take him in. Because from my memory, I don't remember them establishing in the third Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, oh, he's our adopted son or he's our biological son. You know, they don't say which or the other. They don't say, like, oh, you've been with us since you were a little boy, you know, just saying. Because I like to put 1, 2, and 3 together, and then the next generation is just a piece of shit movie. You know, you would think I would like the next generation, but I do not. I do not like the next generation. I only watched it once, and I always say, I'm sorry, it's getting kind of late. I always say it once, and I always say, you gotta give a movie a couple chances. Sometimes I've watched movies where I've watched them, gone, no, that isn't good, and then I'll watch them a year or two later, and I'm like, that's not bad, you know? That happens absolutely all the time, you know? And sometimes I watch a movie, I say it's bad, and then I watch it a year or two later, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's still bad. Like Halloween 3, for instance. That's just still bad, bro. Yeah. But no, I like this. It's definitely an even harder watch than the first movie. Cause like I don't know, I feel like it's a bit more extreme, you know, obviously, duh. And this one is also by Toby Hooper, right? And Toby Hooper, when he directed the first movie, he wanted the first movie to have an undertone of comedy, but not like haha comedy, like a kind of like dark humor and what the fuck is going on comedy, you know, and look how depraved these people are comedy, and you know, stuff like that. And as his own admission, you know, because I watched an interview somewhere with him. I don't remember if it was on bonus features, if it was on this, or it was on that. Somewhere I watched an interview where he said that, you know, people didn't really get the comedic aspect of the first movie. And So with this one, he like really amped it up. He amped up the extremity. He amped up the ridiculousness. He amped up everything. Everything was just amped up. 211. Hello, hello. Look, celebrity guest appearance. Anyways, so he like really amped it up with this one. I'm gonna wrap this up. So, holy cow, I'm already at 7 minutes. That's insane. I've been Scavenger Reviews. I hope you guys liked this one as much as I liked filming it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Um, Admittedly, maybe you kind of will dip in the middle section because it's probably not going to be that much fun to watch me eat chicken tenders. But, you know, I just do these as I do them, you know what I mean? Like, it's authentic. For better and for worse. You can't say I'm not authentic. I give the people what I am. I give you what I am. I don't lie to you. I would never lie to you. Anyways, y'all, I've been Scavenger Reviews. This beautiful woman is Meow Meow. And like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTuber stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Yeah, bye. Yeah. Peace out.